I'm only gonna be doing this on one take because I'm already here. But so I was gonna tell you about the story about blind Bartimaeus, where you can do what's his name? Son of Timaeus. Yeah. On the other side of it, and how Jesus healed his eyesight, and then how a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I was gonna do about the Good Samaritan, and then things again. My tablet's dead, so can't do that no more. But I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I guess I'll tell y'all my testimony actually, because I never told anyone my testimony, and at the same time, I don't really fully understand my testimony yet either. I'm just learning. It's just still being developed already and everything. But I grew up uh, in church family, I guess you could say. Yeah, I grew up in a church family, so my parents, God was always in the room. Um, my parents raised me good. I was just a bad kid. I was just very a bad kid, and I never, I guess I never had like really tried to worry about God when I was young, because like I was going to church and my family was active in church, so it was just something. I guess for me, I was like, well, I don't really need Jesus. Not like I didn't need Jesus, but I was like, I don't know. It's like you're just living with Jesus. It feels like, it's weird. I can't explain it. But basically, once we moved from Texas to England, something really had to change in me because I was always like very passionate as a kid growing up, very passionate, like outgoing, very, very social, easy to make friends and talk to people. But I think when I got to England, something had just changed where I don't know, you got introduced to some things, and there's like I started getting worse. I started cussing and doing all this other stuff, and it only got worse when I moved to Germany. I moved to Germany. That's when I was like in middle school, going to high school, and that's why I got introduced to drugs and just doing a whole more bunch of reckless things that I'm so regretful. And happy there's a God that died on the cross for me because it was bad. I wasn't even reading my Bible. I don't even know if I had a Bible back then. Or I was praying the only time I was praying when I was telling God to bless his food or try to get me out of this whooping, really, because that was all I was doing. I didn't have no relationship with God. I was far from him. I wasn't thinking about it or caring about it. But it's weird because even when people ask me, hey, like, do you believe in God or like Jesus Christ? I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, I do. Like, I never felt like afraid or ashamed to say it or like embarrassed to say it at school or like in public and stuff, even though I didn't have a relationship with them. I think that was something that was placed in my heart, like tugging me, I guess, to not be ashamed. Because we all can sometimes feel ashamed of that or feel not like ashamed, but when you're at work or just in public and someone says something about Jesus or they ask you about Jesus, you can sometimes have that moment of like a fear, because you don't want people to start acting different around you, or start changing, treating you differently because you follow Jesus and it goes against their contradictions or beliefs and stuff. But I don't think you have to be embarrassed of that. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. It, it's gonna get worse eventually. But stand firm on God, like not like this. What you believe and everything. Um, what else? Oh, so from Germany, moved to New Mexico. Um, that's when I started getting caught up in a lot more things and stuff in New Mexico. But just doing no relationship with God, wasn't like paying attention or anything about God. I was there from my sophomore year to the end of my junior year. That's when we moved to Texas. And so this is about like over like decade and a half. Y'all see the span, you know? So then I get to Texas, I graduate, and that's when you start getting caught up in the whole like vaping and all these other things and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Especially when you get out of high school and go into college. Really, I started seeing myself do a lot of things and caught up in a lot of other things, craziness that I wish never happened. But I think more importantly is that I think there's always still a nearness of God. Even though I was getting caught up in a lot of things in trouble, I feel like there was a lot of things that God was still protecting me from when He did not have to. It kind of, I feel like it kind of reminds me of like, prodigal son. Like, where he goes away for a long time. And every day, the father's just waiting out there, waiting if he's gonna come. And eventually, when that son, once you get to your lowest point, he decided to come back to his father, and his father hold him, like open him with opening arms, right? And like he gave him the rings and like feasts and everything. And it's just he's not, you know, Jesus is not someone that gets mad at you when you come back, you gone. He always is happy, waiting on you with open arms. That's crazy. It says he leaves the 99 to go get the one. It's like the 99, like they good, like they're straight, but that one that's lost, that's in need of Jesus, that's been waiting for him, he goes after them. He'll do the same for you. So, dang, I just got completely off topic. Um, um, once I graduated, I started working at Lowe's, and about like uh, about a year in, um, a little bit under that, and man, this girl that worked there, we just started talking, and then she invited me to go to church with her one day, and it was on a Saturday, which was crazy because I remember I don't know, I might have said something with God, talked about God, and I was like, hey, God, like, if there's any way I come back to you, like, this make it happen or something like that. And then she invited me to church with her on Sunday, and we were never off on Sundays at Lowe's. I was like never off on Sundays, and it so happened to be that I was off on Sunday. So I went to church, um, and like some friends and all this. Man, it was a great message. Even though he was talking about like revelations and like I knew stuff of the Bible, like I knew some stuff about the Bible, but when he was talking about revelation and like all these other things, I'm like, bro, what? I'm just trying to learn about like God's love or whatever it is. I know. Yeah, it was so cool though. I think that's when I really set up like a fire, like a real fire. The thing. So I started reading. Wasn't taking notes or highlighting, like I wasn't doing none of that yet, but I was just reading. I was going through this like First Timothy, Second Timothy, First John, First, Second, Third John, all of those. I was reading Gospels and everything. I was like really into it. I was like, "Dang, that's crazy." And then it kind of just fell off again. It's weird. Like not like crazy fall, but it was like there's kind of like this little dip. And it's like, you know, graphs and stuff like that. It was just a small dip. I just fell off a little bit, a little stuff, and eventually, boy got your heart broken and some stuff like that. I was like, "Damn." Now I was like, you know what, God, relationships, just me and you. Like, like Paul here. So, what did I do next? I think I just started focusing. Yeah, I really started focusing on God. Like, I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't doing anything. It's really just focus on God. And eventually I met this girl, this woman. Right. Probably it's almost like 10 minutes. It's maybe like 10 minutes long. Um, I'll probably make another video, tell you my testimony long, but y'all have a good one.